Who I got with me? I'm just logging in. I gotta get this. I'm gonna get another one set up here, and I gotta see. Hold on, let me make sure I'm. To bear with me here, I'm just trying to get see if I can get this other one set up so I can. What we got here? The albino pied? Yeah, we can look at that. I'm gonna turn the lights on over here. Hopefully I don't wash you guys out. Yeah, that's not too bad. And then, so you saw this setup last time with the overhead lights, and then this is like where I would take all the pictures and all that stuff. But what you're used to seeing is right in front of that window, we had our ARS rack. Well, I'm going to be ordering another rack from ARS. So on this side of the room, we had our wonky rack. It used to sit over here. We've now moved the ARS over this way. We'll eventually put another one over here, and then the hatchling rack from ARS, once it gets ordered, which should be shortly, will come turn. So you don't like the so you'll more like this. Is that better? So yeah, so then the hatchling ARS rack will go over there, and then I have this hatchling rack, and then our other one over here. So the request was for the albino pied, which we did have a male we produced last year. And he lives way up in here. Now, Matt got out of work a little late, so he's coming, but he's just not quite here yet. That's the albino pied we produced last year. I'm gonna actually flip you guys around. Makes it a little easier for me. There we go. Because then I can see you guys. He's doing pretty good. He's putting on size. He's about 400 and change grams. He'll be definitely breeding for us this year, or at least that's the way it looks so far. But yeah, he looks good. And again, yeah, really nice LKB. This guy was produced from a double het to double het pairing last year, and it was the only double, and then we had like 3 pieds and an albino, I think. Yeah, so 3 pieds, an albino, him, and then 1 normal. It was quite the clutch, to be honest. Well, we were thinking about putting him back to mom, but I don't really know about that. That was kind of one of those things in discussion. But honestly, any of the pied girls would be great to put him to, because then we can produce all pieds, and then definitely have everything be 100% het for albino. I'm gonna grab a couple from the newer clutches as well and let you take a look at them. There's any available animals on our homepage. I do have a few. They're on Morph Market. It's mostly the 2017s. Our season has been really late, and our first clutches are in full shed right now, and hopefully they'll take meals quick once they're done shedding, and we'll have the stuff from this year. But there's a handful of animals. I think they're mostly males right now. I have to update Morph Market. We did sell a bunch of stuff last weekend, and I've just been really busy with moving this room around and getting it ready for the new ARS rack. So here, let me So we'll go over here. So this is one of my favorites. This is the first one we cut, and I'm probably not going to handle this one, but I mean she is in full shed, and this is the Enchi Leopard Ivory, and she would be 66% het for pied. But you can, I think I'm gonna. It's a female. I think I'm gonna call her Minnie, because if you look at her, the head stamp right there, it looks like Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse. So I think her name will end up being Minnie. But yeah, I mean, this thing is, dude. Guys, I can't wait. I can't wait for this one to shed, and just really show, you know, the colors that she's gonna have. Yeah, I don't think I'll go through all the snakes from the first cutting so you guys can get an eyeball of what actually came out of those. I have been busy with Justin Kabelka and a couple other people just confirming what we have or what was in this clutch. So this, again, the anomaly with this clutch is they were all girls, which I've had to sex so many times it's not funny. So this one here, this is a Leopard Ivory Pied. And you can see, definitely clearly see the pied markings here. So this will probably be in the neighborhood of like a, I don't know, like a almost 50-50 or so 60-40. It came out really good. And again, I apologize for all these guys being in shed, but it'll at least give you an eyeball on, you know, kind of what came out of the clutch. And then once they all shed out, definitely either do a live stream like we were talking about and look at some of these things under a black light. Although I have pretty good eyes with some of the more experienced breeders as to what is what. So this one is a little bit of a step up. Now what I'm being told with this one is this is a pastel Leopard Ivory Pied. I almost speculated that there's Enchi, because when you get the Enchi and Leopard, you get these quad marking on the head with those dots, and it almost makes like a butterfly shape. I have it with some of my other ones, but this one is really high white. It's, I mean, you got some yellow up on the head, but there's only a couple hints of color. So this one will be interesting to see what happens once it sheds out, to see if we get any more color coming through. But she looks good. So, you know, again, I've sexed these guys all like I don't know, probably about 5 or 6 times at this point, because I just can't believe that they're all girls. So when you stack on that they're all girls and that the odds that I hit, this is, I probably in my lifetime will never have another clutch like this. But this is an Enchi Yellow Belly Pied. Not a ton, I mean, not a ton, I'm back that up. Not a ton of color, but like the color that is there, there's like a good chunk of it. And it is just crazy orange. Okay, I can turn the phone for landscape. I was requested to go the other way. So maybe if you're on your phone, you can turn it to landscape and it'll probably stretch out a little bit better for you. Yeah, so this girl looks really good. This orange in here between the Enchi and the yellow belly is just craziness. And you can see the yellow belly does all that really jagged lines around the edges of the pied marks. I guess that's kind of a face there. Looks like a sad face. All right. This was the only non-pied female, but this is a pastel yellow belly, possible Enchi. The eye stripes do widen a bit. There is a pinch there, although it doesn't have all the same banding. But I know a lot of times with yellow belly and Enchi, sometimes it can get messed up. So she will be sold as a pastel yellow belly, possible Enchi, 66% het for pied. And She looks pretty good too. I mean, again, she's in shed, but her colors are crazy. And if you follow me on Instagram, she's got like this ringer right here is just, you can even see through the shed how much orange is on that ringer, and that goes all the way around to this other side. So I can't guarantee the pied, but with the AT&T, I just seeing some of these other comments. One of the two Leo Ivory pieds, and then one other girl. So there'll be a fair amount that's going to be available. This is the yellow belly pied, and for as far as the pieds go, she's probably like the most dusky, but there's a really good amount of color on her. Lots of orange, and again, you can see that jagged, how jagged those lines get. She looks really good. Oh, you're welcome, Leon. And you can see the difference in this head stamp here. I can get her to cooperate. Where those eye stripes are pretty thin, you know, from the eye all the way back, it really doesn't widen out much. So that's one of the pieces that, you know, makes me think that, you know, the other one is Enchi and this one is not. And again, all these animals were confirmed by a couple other more experienced breeders that have been working with this yellow belly stuff and pied and whatnot for quite a while. This girl here, and we can even go through the clutch too if you guys want to. That would be totally up to you. This girl here is the other one that I'm keeping. This is in here. If you see, you can see these quad marks, all these marks right here. If you remember that pastel leopard, again, I almost think it's going to be Enchi as well. I'll have to breed it to prove it out. But these quad markings, yeah, I don't know, Leon. I mean, like, where do I go from here after this? You know, after these clutch, it's like just craziness. But this girl here is a pastel leopard Enchi yellow belly pied, and she is insane. And you can kind of see the little jack-o'-lantern face there. There's it, kind of like, yeah. You gotta, you know, squint one eye, stick your thumb in the other one, and there's a jack-o'-lantern in there. But you can see even these pied markings are like different colors, and then that's some of the more of the pastel influence here with the yellow belly, and then you get more of the Enchi giving you some more orange in different spots. But again, back to that eye stripe, you can see how much wider it is there. Yeah, stick a thumb in your eye, you can see anything you want to see. That's half the thing too, you know. Is, you know, when I look at the clutches for the first go, I'm like, I you know, I want to hit everything. Yeah. You know, we've done all right. And I was talking with William. I appreciate that. It was funny last year. All my recessive clutches I missed on. So I had bred this same girl trying to get pieds, improve her out. I didn't hit a single pied, and she was bred to 100% het male. I had a visual clown, pastel clown, to a het clown that we got from Nerd. Missed on those, and then I also had a het to het ghost clutch, and I got no ghost. So this is just kind of making up for last year, I guess. So this is one of the pastel ivory 66%ers. And again, being in shed, it's kind of really hard to appreciate the color they do have. There is a bit of a dorsal stripe you can see there. But right back there, you can see that purple and that yellow. These girls just look fantastic. And you know, for ivories or pastel ivories, and a pretty good chance of getting pied with that 66. They're not bad looking, and this next one is even better than that one. So let me grab this one here. Yeah, you have to forgive my nose. I just got done eating some spicy food, so I'm like all cleaned out. So this one, where the last one, a lot of that color really didn't come in strong until the tail. You can see no matter where I turn this girl, you got yellow and purple riding the sides. And I was really thinking maybe this one also had leopard in it, but I've been assured that it doesn't. And she is just really, really dug in down here. Here's a little shot of the head. So again, also, you know, pastel ivory, 66% het for pied. She looks pretty good. You know, the other part of my downfall, I guess, for this season too is really just, you know, my stuff is just so late. It's crazy. So somebody was asking about availability. Before I go into the Xanthic stuff, I'll show you what we have for available, and most of these are going to be all. You know, this will be easier than. Oh. So this is a cinnamon pastel Enchi that is 66% het for ghosts. Yeah, you know, Leon, when, because I'd want to keep the whole clutch, to be honest with you, and you just can't. You know, the fact that I'm keeping 3 girls out of that clutch is probably one too many. But at least initially, that's my plan. I'll see where it goes as they get some size and they develop, and then maybe I'll let one of those 3 that I'm keeping go later. But as of right now, I'll keep 3, and the other 6 will be available. Yeah. So this guy, he's got pretty good color. I mean, and what you're seeing here is nothing in comparison to what he really shows for colors. This is just the way it goes. Like videos and pictures just don't ever do them justice. Let's see. We can do this guy as well. So this is a jigsaw. So a Mojave pinstripe. This is a boy. We had a girl. Yeah, Grays. What I was talking about earlier, and I still haven't convinced myself, but I've sexed this particular clutch that I just showed like 5 times, and there's 9 eggs. There are 9 girls. So it's just I still shake my head and wonder if I'm like still missing it. I have to go grab other male hatchlings and make sure I'm popping them right, just to make sure I'm on the right path. But this is another guy that's available. Jigsaw or a Mojave pinstripe. Yeah, Leon, it would be great to see if she does prove out for you. That'd be awesome if she did. And Enchi and Yellow Belly, and if they prove out with pied, would be crazy. So this is a pastel leopard, and he is a posset for pied. And that actually shows, it's not quite a perfect representation of his color, but it's pretty close right there. I mean, these yellows on here are just like pretty insane. I mean, so you're getting a good look at those, but they're actually a little bit better than what you're seeing there. And these guys are getting big. So these are really, you can see how big he is in my hand. They are well started. They're ready for a new bin. That's another reason why that rack is coming. So similar to the other cinnamon, we have this guy. He's not happy. But this guy here has an additional gene. So this is a pastel cinnamon Enchi Yellow Belly that is 66% het for ghost. And again, these guys are all available. I am keeping I've kept one of these guys from this clutch to move along those genes. So the ones that are being offered, or stuff I can't. Again, you get to a point when you start breeding stuff, they're cool, but you just can't keep them all. Yeah, hey Grays, I'd be interested to see how that guy that you have from us is turning out. It'd be good to see an update of him. So this is another pastel leopard. Again, you can see the patterns on this guy is very, very different than the other one. We have two lines of leopard that we use. One from a local guy, it shows up here that I picked up, and then the Loxahatchee Herp Hatchery leopard produces this just crazy wacky pattern. He is also possible Hetford pied. And give me your tail, stop it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, right now it's in favor of the girls, which is, which is great because, you know, technically I should be holding girl back, but so that was 5 boys, and this is the last one here. This one, it's funny, with all those genes on those other snakes, this one here gets the most hits on Morph Market and is still here. So this is the one normal from the albino pied clutch that we have. So this particular guy here is 66% albino and pied. And he's got, he looks good. He's got some decent color. There's, you can see there's a little bit of blushing. Yeah, there we go. We're not locked no more. So I mean, he's a good looking animal, and I think I got him. We got him listed on Morph Market for $50. And then I think it's just really paying the same amount for shipping on this, on an animal that really kind of does the deal in. But we've end shows too, so people get to see him in shows, and he just, I don't know. It's weird. All right, Grace, thanks for swinging in. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Let's see. What else can we do? Matt is on his way. He should actually be here any second. I think he is on our website, and he's definitely on Morph Market. And I can message you too, William, and we can figure something out for him. I don't know how far you are from here, but we can definitely look at that. I know a girl we can look at. This girl I just weighed the other day. She just hit 500 grams. This is a project that I am super amped to get going into. It'll be a couple years, but so she is clearly a albino. And some of you guys that follow me on Instagram may have seen her on there a while ago. I'm trying to get the side of her head here for you. Yeah, there's that mark. So this girl is Het for tri-stripe. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got two chances to prove out on either side. Long as you got the genes, on the female as well. But yeah, this is one project that I'm super excited about. This girl, you can see that. Yeah, there's that tri-stripe markings right in here. I get this really stripiness going along. So really excited about this girl. She does well. She came from Rich Macias. So very, 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 very excited to get her going. But she's got a ways to go. And then the other female that I have in the Tri-Stripe project come from Sean Bradley, which is this girl. I picked her up in Tinley last year. And this girl is a cinnamon Hetford Tri-Stripe, and she's about 7 or 8. Yeah, thanks. It'll get some more business here pretty soon, Leon. I mean, once I get these guys shed and a couple meals, then they'll end up added out to the website. Yeah, but this is the other girl for that Tri-Stripe project. Again, from Sean Bradley. Matt just walked in through. Because the last thing we did with the hatchlings was just really the cutting. So I went through the first clutch and kind of what we think they are or what they are. Yeah, we can go through the next one if you want, and I'll run the camera and you can pull them out and let them take a look at the Exanthic stuff. Yeah, I just pulled the whole bin just so I didn't just so I don't mess with them too much, especially in shed. They get all grumpy.
All right, so this is the holdback for us. We believe it to be
I'll get to you in a minute there, Leon.
A pastel yellow belly fire Exanthic. I'm running with JD Constriction right now to try and confirm what we have. I got to send them a few more pictures just to kind of give them a better idea what they are. But that's what we think it is. And this is a girl.
What was our intentions when we first got into the hobby as far as what we wanted to produce? So I will tell you, the first pair that I bought from Ben Rennick. I bought a cinnamon spider female and a cinnamon pinstripe male. My plan at that point was to try and produce, the all black snake and then go for the albino stuff. And that just kind of went away after a little bit. I got sidetracked with so many other options and genes. The thing they tell you a lot too is like, try to pick a project or two and try to stay focused and that stuff. And I agree with that 100%. It's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
Very tough.
But it's critical. So girls, and pick a couple projects. And when I say project, like you can buy genes, but pick a recessive that you like, because the recessives are going to hold value longer. So if you buy a girl that is a visual recessive or has a het, or you're going to prove her out for a het, that girl is going to hold value much longer than just the yellow belly or just the Enchi yellow belly. If it's 66 pied and then you prove her out, that girl is going to be very, very valuable, kind of like this ivory was. So I had the ivory that was 66, and now her value just went up immensely because she proved out, for that.
Yeah, and the three recessives that I was looking at that I really wanted to work with was Pied, the Exanthic, and then the Puzzle Project. But we'll get into that later. This one is another girl. This one we believe it to be, I gotta look at the belly on this one again. I believe this one to be a pastel fire or a pastel yellow belly. I'm still not 100% sure yet. Exanthic, obviously. So this one will become available once it sheds and eats and we figure out exactly what we're working with. So
yeah, that's exactly right, Leon. And I mean, and even when I started too, you start looking like, for example, one of the girls that I plan to keep is the pastel Enchi leopard yellow belly pied. Like if you go on Morph Market and you start looking, I mean, you kind of have to put dots together because there isn't one out there available. But she would probably value somewhere in the neighborhood of like $3,000 or something like that. Like even now, it would be a struggle for me to buy something like that. So if I can produce it, that's why I've got 3 of them in there that I'm going to hold on to because, I couldn't afford to buy them. And the fact that I had such a good clutch and I hit them, I'm just going to keep them all. Or 3 of them anyway.
And now for this one, I'm kind of stumped. I'm either thinking just straight out Exanthic or maybe part of the dark phase line that we're working with. I'm not 100% sure. This one came out fairly dark. We haven't worked with the dark phase line before, so we don't know if they start out dark and gradually get darker or start out normal color and start to get darker. So
yeah, well, if you're still on there, Bronx is not too far away, and September we plan on being at White Plains. We're at White Plains every White Plains show. We vend there, so
5 times a year.
yeah, we could probably get away with even you wouldn't even have to worry about shipping honestly on that animal. So
yep.
Yeah, that could work out again if you're still online here.
And this one is another girl. once we figure out what we're doing with her, she is.
Yeah, this clutch was pretty good too. 7 eggs. There was what, 2 boys?
2 boys. Yep. This is actually one of the boys that I'm grabbing now.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Those pumpkin pies they're just like absolutely beautiful.
And now this one, we're leading to believe is a firefly exanthic or a pastel fire exanthic. This is a boy. This one will be available. Like I said, the whole clutch we're still trying to confirm to make sure we...
Yeah, we're back and forth with the breeders that we picked up. Well, not so much the first clutch, but this one we're still back and forth with the breeders that we picked up the adults from to try to confirm, exactly what some of this says. Because honestly, once you take all the color away, it gets even harder to figure stuff out until you get used to looking at those animals.
Ain't that the truth? All right, now this one is a pastel fire.
100% het SK Exanthic.
Yep, and this is a female, and will become available once
she sheds and eats, which is
all
kind
the
of
same
par for the course for everybody. Yeah, we tried to feed them this weekend, and they were all just going into shed. And usually they don't eat until after shed, but I don't know. I get ahead of myself sometimes, so I tried to feed them, and nobody ate. So this one.
And this one's another pastel fire, female.
Hey Regan, welcome.
Het SK Exanthic.
Yeah, we just been going through a couple clutches that we cut about a week and a half ago, and we're just waiting on the snakes to shed out. Most of them are in full shed. They're about to, get into their first new skins. So we're just kind of...
We're amped. We can't wait to see what these things are going to look like.
This one we think is a pastel fire. Yeah, so firefly, and is 100% het for Exanthic. And then we got one more from this Exanthic clutch that we'll take a look at.
It's really deep in shed. No color whatsoever because of the shed, but this one is a fire, and this is a boy.
What's going on, Big Pun?
And 100% SK Exanthic.
Yeah. Thanks, Leon, for throwing that back out there. It was craziness. I mean, not only did we hit crazy odds with that first clutch, but like I was telling these guys before, I've sexed that clutch like 5 or 6 times because I just can't believe that every one of them is a girl.
Yeah, we hit a lot of girls so far. We got what, 6?
Well, the first clutch was 9. The second clutch
14.
was 7.
So we have 14 girls and 2 boys.
Out of 16 eggs. Yeah. So the girls are forever in our favor so far.
Just want to show them some future stuff that's coming up. So this is our pastel lesser 100% het puzzle girl. If she'll like.
Yeah, Leon. There are guys out there for sure that deal with the SK stuff. It's just not as mainstream as the VPI, but it's like I don't know anybody that still deals with Jolliffe. Jolliffe is one of the lines. You can see pictures here and there.
Just nothing big.
Yeah, JD. I know JD does the SK stuff. He's one of the big ones.
Yep.
Constriction Addiction is now... No, I take that back. Constriction Addiction is doing the VPI stuff. Who's Art DeJacqueline out of Florida does SK.
Olympus Reptile.
Yeah, I think Olympus may have some. I'm not really sure. What's going on, Dark Science? Welcome. It's going good. We just kind of went through the first couple clutches that we cut like a week and a half ago, and just kind of was confirming what we think we have for the most part, and now just showing some other stuff. So yeah, this is a pastel lesser and het for puzzle female.
So she'll be not this breeding season, hopefully next breeding season. So we're really excited about getting into the puzzle project. That's the girl.
No, thanks, Brandon. Yeah, that's what I thought. Olympus, JD for sure. Exanthic project.
And then this is our boy. This is a pastel 100% het
And the
puzzle.
and the het for this puzzle stuff just amps the crap out of the color. I mean, you get a good representation of what that color looks like there, but it is nothing compared to live. Again, just like all videos and pictures, I mean, they don't do the animal any justice at all.
And when they were talking about like with the puzzle stuff with the feeding response on these guys, there's no joke. These guys like head out as soon as you get that rodent there. They're like, this girl, she sits there and stares at my hand and not the food. But the response is crazy.
So this guy here, we'll show you this guy. This guy came. This is an SK male. This is a pastel spider Kelly SK Exanthic. Now with this shed, he just shed like a few days ago. All this color stayed. He was for the most part predominantly white. And I was excited about that because he's like 600 grams, 700 grams, and he was holding all this white color. And then he just shed, and now he's got a ton of this gray, and I don't know where it's coming from. So I don't know if it just at a certain point, the influence of the Kelly may do this. I'm not familiar with the Kelly gene at all. I've seen the single gene of the Kelly, and it kind of looks similar to Enchi, but I don't know if it does different things. So I guess time will tell. A few more sheds and see if this guy keeps getting darker or if this is just where he's going to end up.
Actually, I'll grab the girl.
Yeah, we got a female that also came from art that is essentially the same thing, less the pastel. So this girl is the
Spider Kelly.
Spider Kelly Exanthic, no pastel. And, you know, there's a slight difference in color for sure here with this shading, but she's had this forever.
Yeah.
So for him, for the male just to pop it out of nowhere, I don't know. We'll see. So here's one girl from that possible ghost clutch. Well, not possible ghost, but the ghost clutch that I'm keeping. And her, yeah, she's just a blaze right there. You want to grab your phone just to see if we got some other comments going on. So, again, this should be similar to that other male that I had showed earlier. Pastel, Enchi, Cinnamon, Yellow Belly, although she does look a lot better. So, I would think that difference in color for her is probably a definite het. But, again, that was a clutch that I didn't get any ghosts on.
Not sure if he answered Leon, but he was asking if we think there's a difference between the lesser and the butter.
No, not really. Not anything that that I've. I mean, this is a butter. This is a butter extreme gene, but everybody that I've talked to, the butters and lessers they're all compatible and they all essentially look the same. But the story is that those two genes were imported roughly around the same time by different people, or they came in with bags of snakes back in the day, from different people, and they just got named differently, but are essentially the same gene. I'm just showing you guys snakes, if that's all right. This girl's in shed. This is also an extreme gene. By this, she's also Orange Dream, but she's all ghosted out there. A couple of my favorites. This here is a GHI. I get all this cocoa stuff everywhere. She's in she's in shed, but this is a GHI Red Stripe, and she's all smoked out. She's in full shed. Yeah, of course I go spilling all the stuff in the water bowls too. This girl's always pretty looking. Oh, you made a mess. I gotta clean your water. The Enchi Clown.
What's up, girlie?
Yeah, Brandon. I got her from Justin in Tinley last year, and she was a little rough to get going. She would take mice and then take rats and then mice and rats, and she was all over the place. And then when she finally went to rats, it was just ridiculous. This is another girl I picked up in Tinley. This is a pastel desert ghost female. We got her from CJ Pets. Yeah, Leon, I don't know if that lesser butter thing is something similar to like, VPI and Xanthic. They're not compatible by any means, but in relation to what you're talking about is like who has how much or whatever, accessibility and all that stuff. Who has those genes around you if you're going and you're buying them at a show. This girl is a quick favorite.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Brandon, for sure. So this girl came from a jigsaw to jigsaw clutch. This is a pinstripe.
With me, something weird going on.
Yeah, I've never seen a pinstripe so clean and so minimized or reduced, is another word. Neither one of the parents show like a reduction in pattern or anything like that. They look like pretty typical jigsaws. I had somebody, I was on a forum saying that this is probably a super, but if you go talk to Barchek that, kind of brought in the pinstripes, there is no visual difference. And if it is a true dominant gene, there shouldn't be a visual difference from a pin and a super pin. But who knows, right? Until somebody proves something out.
Right.
But yeah, I love this girl. I mean, her colors and stuff is just craziness.
Yeah, she's good looking.
Craziness.
And here's
yeah.
a snake for you, Leon. This is our pastel lesser yellow belly girl that we produced last year. And her colors, or is that the her or is that the? That is.
I think that's the boy.
That's the boy.
Yeah, I mean, the way the alien heads on that thing just float right up off the snake, and all the black just adds like a dimensional shadow behind everything it's just insane. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you start add anything else to this, it's just gonna get like totally crazy. Whether it's calico, I don't have any calico, but I have sugar. And again, that's another one that can be arguably the same or different depending on who you talk to and where it came from, that kind of thing. But yeah, he looks good too. Let me show you guys a couple more, and then after that, I really don't have an agenda. Oh, you know who's good?
Which one?
Oh, of course. How do
the snake.
I have one snake from AEP. And if you guys follow me at all, have seen in my stuff, you'll know exactly which one it is. I weighed her the other day too. So 719, on 719 I weighed this girl. She got here, when did she get here?
She got here 5-1.
So I got her in May, and she's in the tail end of shed, so she's about to shed, so she just cleared up. She passed that like crazy ghost phase. So this is a Cypress Mojave. And she is 400 grams. And she got here as a hatchling
She was 82.
in May. 82 grams at the beginning of May. Yeah, Cypress Mojave, Brandon, from Miguel, Always Evolving. And just talk about plowing food and stacking on weight. She'll eat every single time stuff goes in the cage. And it seems like her weight to food ratio is better than most snakes. Again, being 400 grams and 3 months old.
Yeah. She just stacks it on so quick. Like letters on the side.
Yeah, I would agree, or hieroglyphics or something. Check her for diet. Yeah, right? Yeah, she's a little fatty. She just ate earlier today. What was the reduced pin?
They like it a lot. The super reduced.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's something more than polygenic. To be honest, I hope there is some genetic element to that pinstripe. um, because that male went to a couple girls. Well, we can show them. We'll do that.
No, the
I'm
other.
gonna put this away, her away, and we're gonna show you another girl from the same male that produced that pinstripe. He also produced a jigsaw girl that we decided to hold on to because she looks unlike any jigsaw I've seen before. Um, the most underrated gene that people work with. That's, I think my answer would have been very different before. But now with what Justin's done with like the red stripe and even with like the Mojave clowns and things like that, I think a lot of our common genes are super underrated. They just haven't been really worked really good.
Yeah, they haven't unlocked their full potential.
So this girl is a jigsaw for sure. The only other thing that was in this clutch, gene wise, was black pastel, and she's definitely not a black pin. And if so, I don't know. The jigsaws that we do um, have similar patterns, but how intact the back stripe is. I mean, usually they're really busy. There's a lot of breaks. There's like holes in the back stripe. You'll see like pinholes and different holes through the back stripe. The alien heads have a lot of noise in them and a lot of eyes. Again, there's your comparison. We looked at this guy earlier. Typical jigsaw with all these holes and elongations through the back stripe, very irregular, broken all over the place. The alien eyes are super busy. It's not as clean. Just a lot going on with that snake. And then you look at her, she's just very, very, very different. Now, to my knowledge, there are no hets involved. It doesn't mean that the black pastel doesn't carry a het or that the male jigsaw does. Yeah, keyholes, um, alien eyes, alien heads. There's, whatever terminology you want to use. But you can clearly see there's a massive difference in this girl. And again, this girl is kind of related by father to that pinstripe.
They're stepsisters.
Yeah, stepsisters. So,
or half sisters.
I don't know. Hopefully, it proves out and it's something more than just polygenic because we have a couple animals that kind of raise an eyebrow from Dad.
Do you have anything from
You know,
hobby?
I didn't. I never thought I would have this many snakes.
No.
For sure. And this is our third year producing ball pythons. And with some of the odds, I think we've done pretty good positioning ourselves, even with the amount of errors we made in the beginning. And I made a lot of errors personally, and how I was buying stuff. I wasn't focused, like we talked about earlier, focusing on a recessive and trying to stay within a couple recessives. And then, you can buy animals without the recessive to make hets if you have visuals. So there's some room to move within that, but kind of staying focused within that I think is really important in the beginning for somebody just getting started, so that you can really build towards something. My problem was, and I used to do fish back in the day, and I would just buy stuff like mad because I liked it. And that's kind of how I started this, was just buying genes after genes after genes of just stuff I liked, but there was no direction, there was no plan. So last year we stepped back and said, I need to focus more. I need to buy more girls. I need to buy stuff within certain projects. In the first half of the year, I didn't do great with that. Welcome, Corporal Soto. We're just kind of showing some snakes around and kind of babbling a little bit about different questions and things and opinions on stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to throw this girl out. This girl actually dropped some eggs fairly recent for us. This is our Hidden Gene Woma Granite Yellow Belly girl. We paired her to our Pastel SK Xanthic male. So I just kind of wanted to bring her out and kind of see what what people's thoughts would be as being able to see like this gene combination as an exanthic. We're hoping to get some really cool stuff. You know, it's all going to be het this year because she doesn't carry the gene, but we're really hoping to get this into the exanthic project just because of all the big patterns, and I think it could come out as a really clean looking exanthic.
Yeah, Corporal. She's really nice. We got this girl from Rick Solscher, and she's a fantastic example of what she is, and she does well for us. We've had no issues with her. She eats, and obviously she produces, so that's great. And then Leon, to answer your question, do I think you asked if I think they'd ever come to an end as far as discovering genes? Yeah, I don't know. You look at the the DNA chain, and it's mammoth. So theoretically, I don't think we would ever end in that. With the borders open to Africa and having new blood coming in and like crossbreeding, finding new stuff, I think it's going to go on for a long time. But you look at many collections and what people are producing now by layering these genes. Dude, it's endless. I mean, on what you can produce, and I don't know. I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon. To be honest,
No.
I think it's a great industry, and I haven't really made too much of a big announcement. We do dragons as well, or we did for many years, and I've had an increasing allergic reaction to the insects. Borderline anaphylactic, where I can't breathe, and I just it's because it would have become not fun, wearing long sleeves in a hot room, wearing gloves and respirators all the time. So we have actually been selling that side of our hobby off, and I'm down to 4 adult dragons right now, and shortly we'll be out of the dragon world.
Yeah, my biggest worry was, coming over here and finding Jim flat out
blue on the floor.
Just being, being here by himself, working with the stuff, working with the bugs, and having that type of reaction. It's not worth the risk.
So we looked at some regular girls. I'm going to slide a couple out that have.
Ooh, she's big.
Yeah. So this is probably the. Yeah, well, I don't mind the bugs, Brandon. I've dealt with them for years, had them for a long time. It just, when your hands turned into tomatoes and swell up like mad and you can't breathe, it just gets, scary sometimes. So this is, you guys that have bred before, this stuff will all make sense to you, but this is probably the next girl.
To go.
Oh, they give you the heebie-jeebies? Yeah, we've got like 4 or 5 different kinds of roaches and super worms and like just all kinds of stuff. So we were full tilt when we were doing it. So this girl is a cinnamon spider. I got this girl from Ben Rennick, and she is probably the next girl that's going to drop. What's going on, 808? Welcome. So one of the things that I just kind of want to show, like Leon and some of those guys, as your girls become gravid, one of the telltale signs that you will see before they lay is you can see this really, really hard triangular.
Yeah, you can see it.
It's locking here on me. Yeah, this really hard triangular area. It gets really bony here, and you get this shape from them losing weight from putting so much into the eggs, and then the eggs drawing part of their body out the other way. So you get this real triangular area. They also talk about tail suck right before they lay. I don't know that she's that close. No, she doesn't have the tail suck. So she's still got a few days. But she will probably definitely be the next girl here to lay.
She's eyeballing you.
Yeah, like leave me the hell alone. Let me take a look. So we kind of do these cards here, and I'll kind of show you right here. So her pre-lay shed was 7.4. So based on our stuff here, we run about 30 to 34 days for our eggs to drop. So she's got about a week. So you'll see like a week out, they really start to get triangular in shape. And I think we got another girl that's pretty close to the same thing, and we can show you another one. This god awful rack system. That bin's actually not too bad.
Yeah, that was actually nice and easy.
I put an Orange Dream Fire to her, Corporal. So that should be pretty exciting. Because I know Ozzy had done some of the Orange Dream Fire cinnamon stuff, and it was ridiculous. And I also got the spider in there. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out.
Here's another fat girl.
Yeah, another fat bottom girl. So this is a jigsaw female. Oh, why am I'm spacing? Oh, it's right in front of me.
Who you brought her to?
Jigsaw. This girl also saw the Orange Dream Fire. Now you can see she is kind of triangular here a little bit, but not quite.
Her prelay was the 31st.
Yeah, her prelay was actually in front of the other one, but the other one looks further along for whatever reason. Thanks, Deans. We appreciate it. Yeah, this girl, I actually forgot the breeder. This was one of the first ones that we got, and I actually forgot the breeder I bought her from.
Yeah, I don't even remember either.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's written on that. No, it's not. Yeah, I got into a habit after a few snakes. I started on their feed cards, and I'll grab one. I'll grab one of mine because you know.
This is yours.
There we go. So we'll do. This is typically how I do my cards. Really cheap, nothing crazy. So male, female. If I can. The name, AEP, the date it arrived, and its weight, and then I'll put an R for rat, and then all the times it's eaten. The circles are sheds. So I don't really track poop or any of that stuff. So this is just a quick way I can see like when they ate, when they shed. And again, it's just a cheap 3x5 card, and we use that with all our stuff.
So from Leon, any genes that we like to add to the mix that we don't currently have?
Add to the mix that I don't. Yeah, the monsoon. It's another recessive. I wouldn't mind having like confusion. And like what we were talking about before with people naming stuff a bunch of different things. The confusion, the acid, and then there was another name for it somewhere. And the speculation is that it's all the same gene. But again, that gene came into different people and they started producing it and they all named it something else. But by looks of things, it appears to be the same gene.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we would like to work with. Because like the monsoon's cool because it's really crazy busy. There's a lot of cool things you can do with that.
Yeah, I mean the monsoon for sure, but like I said, I got the tri-stripe stuff. I want to start, producing as soon as I can. Again, it won't be this season; it'll be next season.
Oh.
And then I want to work that into the desert ghost, and maybe throw the clown at the tri-stripe and see what happens, and just go crazy with some of that.
There's one gene that we do want to work with that we really don't have much to work with at the moment.
How do you? Yeah, Brandon, I have two. I have two pastel leopards. They're both 50% het for pied, and they're very, very different.
Bring those back out.
Yeah, you can. We could do this while you're doing that. So one of the other genes that we just get started with is the Lav albino. So we did pick up this male. And he is 100% het SK, so that bit is nice. And OD leopard females, yeah. I hope you can find them. That's that would be pretty desirable female to have, for sure. And sometimes girls are hard to find. So this guy will be busy. He will probably see that Enchi clown that I have. and start working on the grill project. And he'll definitely see some SK stuff. Take one gene out. I don't know that I would take anything out. The only gene that I'm just not really, really huge on is really lesser. At least in regard to, I haven't been able to find anything that I really like to see it in. So we'll do these one at a time because they are very, very different. So this is the pastel leopard 50% het for pied male that we have. Thanks, Brandon. And the male that produced this one is from Loxahatchee Herp Hatchery in Florida, and has, like, you can see the pattern on this. It is ridiculous. And actually the dad just shed, so I can show you him. He is just like off the chart, busy pattern, throws some crazy wacky stuff. And then this one here, thanks Platinum, welcome. And this is another pastel leopard. This leopard, you can see the differences. They're very, very different in pattern. They came out of the same clutch. It was a dual sired clutch, but I can tell right away which one came from which one, just based on their pattern. So
actually, that clutch actually ended up being a triple sired clutch.
Yeah.
Because the jigsaw also, this all came from the black pastel female that we bred last year. So we put the two leopards because we're like, oh, we could tell the difference between the leopards if one doesn't go, because we weren't sure if they locked. And then we threw the jigsaw in there in the mix just in case we weren't getting locks. We didn't see any. And she ended up throwing eggs from all three males, which was insane.
Thanks, Deans.
Because I wouldn't have imagined her, doing that.
So we can throw those back, and then I'm gonna grab Pops.
Oh yeah.
And we had talked. Oh, he's all put away. Yeah, you can see he just shed, literally shed today. So this is the father to that crazy busy one. So pastel leopard, and just like, it looks like hieroglyphics, like some of these that he produced. So last year he saw the ivory, and he's 100% het for pied, and I got 0 pieds out of that clutch, which kind of irritated me. But you can see, just hieroglyphics, man. Like, you can name any animal in the jungle and it's there. There's a camel, there's a lion, there's a dog. Like, it just some craziness goes on with him. And then from him pairing with the ivory last year, I'll show you what I kept. And this boy will be busy this year. Oh, woo, look at that color. Look at that color. You just can't. Man, like, this dude just glows. So that was dad, and mom was the ivory. So it was funny. I was really wanting a girl. And so this is a pastel leopard yellow belly, because it went to the ivory, so everything was yellow belly. And I wanted a girl so bad. And have you know it, I produced 3 of these things. I kept one, sold 2, which is fine, but I really wanted a girl.
Yeah, last year we were a shortage of girls. Like, we had more males than we did females last year, and now it seems like it's kind of, the tides have turned for us this year. We got more girls, because out of that clutch that Jim produced, the ivory clutch, he was like, I need a male. And then all of them turned out to be females.
Yeah. Yeah, because, again, that clutch that we cut, if that Enchi Leo ivory, and for some of you guys that came in a little late, I'll show you this one. Now, you have to forgive her. She's in full shed. She didn't know better. Her name is Minnie. And her name is Minnie because if you look at her head stamp, it looks like Minnie Mouse. I really wanted this one to be a boy, but as luck would have it, the whole clutch was girls, and that was bad enough as it is, because I like I was telling all these guys earlier, I've sexed that clutch like freaking 5 or 6 times. It just drives me nuts because There's no way I could have all girls in a 9-egg clutch, and
Yeah, lo and behold.
I'm not seeing anything else come out of that. But let's see, what else? What else can we look at?
Oh, this guy's kind of cool.
Yeah, he was out first. You can pull him out again.
Oh, you brought him out already?
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a little albino pied.
Nah. You'll see a couple girls this year. Well, hopefully there's one girl that I'm still trying to get the size that just refuses to eat.
I'll show you this, see how this girl looks here. So this is one girl that made weight this year. And it's a Firefly Het Clown. And she has seen our pastel clown male multiple times. Brandon, I wouldn't mind getting into the scale of stuff. I don't know that I would get into it to make a scaleless snake. I really, really like what it does when it's just the scaleless head. It just amps up colors. It's that extra, if you will. So having that in there just really, really makes a big difference in some of these genes, and just, a lot of wow factor, if you will. So yeah, I mean, I'll eventually get one. I don't know that I'll get one to make scaleless, but definitely to add in for the wow factor, just to make some crazy, crazy looking animals, just to make great stuff better. You know what I mean? And if you listen to like Kevin McCurley, that's the stuff he talks about all the time. Actually, Leon, I do have some banana, and we can take a look at her in a minute. But even Kevin McCurley says just having a het in the mix a lot of times is going to add that extra. And if you have animals that are het for clown or het for pied, and I can show you a great example of the differences of stuff with a het and without a het, and the color that it makes. It's that extra advantage on that animal. So this is our pastel banana female. This girl came from Sean Bradley. She's pretty good looking. I don't necessarily care for the pastel when it's in the mix. I like all the oranges and the purples, and the pastel seems to take it away. Mm-hmm. But this girl is gravid. She just had her prelay shed a few days ago. She saw the pastel clown. So we're hoping for some super pastel banana 100% het clowns, which would be fantastic.
Would be. And she's a feisty girl too.
If any snake in this collection will bite you every time you put your hand in it, it's her. Although since she's been gravid, she's been better. So and I'll give you, yeah, dude, they are big time. I love, and that's the other thing with like the tri-stripe. I want to see banana in it. The albinos I don't mind. They look decent, but I think a banana tri-stripe would just be like off the chain.
Yeah, I would agree.
So you want to grab the quad?
Yeah.
So we just call them the quads, because this is brother and sister. They are the same combo. I'm gonna have you hold on to that one for a second.
Yep.
So we'll start with this one. This is the female. So this is a pastel Enchi leopard yellow belly, and mom was 100% het for ghost, and dad was 100% het for pied. Now, what's typical with, if she'll bring her head out here, what's typical with this quad gene is you can see all those really distinct marks on the head. Those four that kind of makes like, there's just really good separation, and you can see it's just distinctive. I've produced it 3 times now, and it's indistinguishable. Like I know what it is when all four genes are at play. So this is the girl. This girl looks good, but I don't think she's het for pied, and I'll tell you why. This is her brother. Now, in video it's hard to see, but there is definitely a color difference here. He is off the chart. Has the same quad markings on his head, pastel inchy leopard yellow belly, and this guy is the father to all the crazy pieds that we produce on that first clutch. So he did prove out 100% het for pied, and I almost knew it definitively just because of the color difference. Like his color is just ridiculous, ridiculous. She's not got bad color, but you can see there's more brown, and then you put him right on top, and he's just yellow. He's just yellow. So this is like kind of the stuff that like McCurley's talking about, and the stuff that I want to do, like even with the scaleless head, is just to have it just to amp stuff up. You know what I mean? Make it different than what everybody else is doing. And sometimes just the het alone will do that for you.
And with that guy, like that quad guy, he's really got me questioning on what I want to do as regards to my black pastel het pied project, or het pied girl that I have. I've been on the fence of wanting to do the panda pieds. It's tough because of all the, I've seen people come out with good ones, and I've seen people come out where they get the duck bills or the kinks, and so I'm still kind of on the fence whether if I want to try that route or not. So if I don't, my next best thing that I want to do is I want to hook her up with that. With that quad.
Yeah, because the girl he got it's a black pastel pinstripe that's het for pied. So and so you throw pastel inchy leopard yellow belly to black pastel pin. I mean, you got 6 genes at play before you even touch the pied stuff. So
she's just so dark. She's got a little shed stuck to her nose still. But like throwing this in with that, I'm just like, what if everything hits? Like, what would it look like?
It'd just be insane.
And if it hits pied, Yeah. So I'm kind of torn. I don't know what I want to do yet. There's another route that I want to go with, trying to make panda pied with more genes in a certain way, but I'm going to kind of keep that as my own little secret for now until I figure out if I can do that.
Yeah. So. But this girl should have gone this year without a problem, but she went super picky and decided to go off feed for like 3 or 4 months, and then just didn't make weight, and then had no interest in breeding.
Yeah.
Even though she was like right on the border, and now she's gone beast mode where she's just eating like crazy. So she's completely up to weight now, but I don't know. She's got a few locks under her.
Yeah.
If she happens to become gravid or something, then that's great. But more than likely, she's not going to go this year. She'll go this coming season.
But that quad, he did see this girl. This is our mammoth of a girl. This is this girl's just black pastel, nothing else.
Yep.
But she drops a lot of eggs for us. She dropped 12 eggs this go around. She dropped 10 last year. So we put her to him and hoping to throw some black pastel into that mix and see what the heck we get.
Yeah, Leon, I would agree with you. And I think, for us, if we do get clutches of them, we're going to incubate them at a lower temp and just a lot slower. And there's some speculation that will eliminate some of the kinking, so we'll see. But in one of the previous videos, you guys see me did pull eggs from her. We got 12 eggs from her this year. And that black pastel girl did see the quad male here. So there should be some pretty interesting combos with all those genes mixed in.
Yeah.
We've been on for like 75 minutes, and I'm about done. I'm probably gonna sign off here. I'm gonna grab some dinner and stuff, and then relax before I get up at the butt crack of dawn and go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, and I probably should go home, and I've been at work and I haven't been home, and I should spend some time with the pregnant wife.
And
so
the
she's
chitlins, yeah.
and the kid, and see him before he goes to bed.
And
so.
all that stuff. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys taking time out of your evening to spend a little bit of
Time with
us and checking out some of the collection and stuff. Thanks, Deans. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take care to you too. Have a great night. Have a good week, and we'll see all you guys on the next live stream or video. We'll probably still do that live stream that we were talking about with those clutches once they shed, and black light and regular, just to kind of really put that out there and see what those look like under a black light. That'll be pretty fun to do.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody will shed
by
end of the week.
And we're about 7 to 10 days, and I say it like that because I can't remember, but we're about 7 to 10 days from our next clutch.
Oh,
so
9 days. Yeah, I just
9
looked
days.
at it earlier, which that's our secret clutch. So
thanks, Leon. You have a great night too.
So that, unfortunately for you guys, we will not do that one on live feed because there's something that we're trying to hit that hasn't been hit yet, and we're just trying to keep that a secret until we know whether we hit it or not.
Yeah, so that won't be a live feed, but you guys will definitely see the video. Yep. Have a good night, Andrea. Thanks for swinging by. Appreciate it.
And if we do hit it, we'll more than likely we're still on the fence whether if we're going to be like, yeah, we're going to tell.
I'm done.
Okay. Yeah. I know I haven't been here as long talking, so
he got here a little late. He wants to keep going. Actually, you keep the phone. I'll just go downstairs. You have a good day.
Yeah, see ya. Oh, you gonna leave me the beer too?
No,
right?
I'm not leaving you the beer. The beer's going with me. Especially I've been like Jabberjaw, and I really need the beer because of my palate's all dried up. But anyway, again, everybody, thank you very much. We'll see you guys on the next video or live stream, whichever comes first. And we don't even know what that is. So take care. Thanks for spending your evening with us, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
That was cool.